سلام ګران لیدونکو، خدای دې وکړي جوړ روغ او آرام اوسئ او شپې ورځې په خیر باندې تیریږي. د ښځو نړیوال ورځ په لندن کې تجلیل شوه او دا ویډیو موږ تاسو ته آماده کړې ده. خدای دې وکړي خوښ مو شي او له نورو سره یې هم شیر کړئ. دا پروګرام دی آریانا ابوي او د غول ټیم له طرفه آماده سو. قربانه دی پروګرام آریانا جان هم چنان و. د پیسې چې په دې پروګرام کې جمع شوې دا د راهیلا ټرست به ورکړل کېږي. راهیلا ټرست یو چارټي اورګنایزیشن ده چې په انګلستان کې رجستر شوی ده، مګر پیسې سلته دی جمعي دغه ټول چې افغاني انجونو ته چې یونیورسيټي ته تلای نه سي د اقتصادي لحاظه سپانسر کوي او د افغانستان یونیورسيټي ته کولای شي ولاړ شي. دوی په کال کې تقریبا 15 نفر ته کومک کوي. نماینده په درې ولایتونو کې لري او دغه پروسس ته کومک کوي. راهیلا جان خپل بیانیه په دې پروګرام کې هم وړاندې کړې ده. بعضي کلیپونه دي وطن بوکس ډوډۍ خرڅول په دې پروګرام کې ډېر مزیدار مړی و. د افغانستان مزیدار کلچې هم خرڅې دي او خپل پروګرام پانل درلود او د پانل غړي څخه د پښتنې هم وسوي هغه څوک چې پروګرام ته راغلي وو. بعضي کلیپونه مو په دې پروګرام کې هم چنان شامل کړي دي. په پروګرام کې نور مکستور فاشن شو هم شنن وو چې مکستور ډیر خاصه کالي په لندن کې خرڅوي او ډیر خلک لدی دکان څخه کالي اخلي او هم چنان د رباب خلې او نغمه په پروګرام په ختم کې ټولو ګډون کوونکو ته تقدیم سو. نو خدای دې وکړي دا پروګرام تاسو خوښ سي او نور سره شیر کړئ. کوم چینل نه سبسکرایب کړل تاسو نه خواهش کوم چې چینل سبسکرایب کړئ. نو تاسو وخت نه نیسم. هیڅ په ورځې فعلا خدای پامان.
Of women and to get women access to education. So I'm honestly very touched that all of them have come here today, and after a short break where you'll be able to get some food, there's going to be a fashion show which is what I've been very kindly donated by Maxwell London and an incredible Rubab performance. So there's a lot on. Thank you so much for being so patient, and I now welcome to the stage Ariaina.
Thank you so much, Magdalena. Salam everyone. Thank you so much for your patience and coming to this International Women's Day event. Salam barahmatullah aziz, salamuna granawatawalo darasharakhle. Hushavadin, I'm really happy that you can all make this event, non-Afghans uniting with Afghans for one cause, to free the women of Afghanistan, to give them the rights that they so much need. Especially in the 21st century, we can see these things that are happening at the moment, which are barbaric. So it has been over 500 days since the Taliban have banned women from the education, their rights to go to school. It has been over a few months since December, which girls haven't been able to pursue their higher education and go to university. There has been bans on sports. There has been bans and restrictions on education, on work. There has been bans and restrictions on working for NGOs as well as that. There has been many restrictions on the women and female participants in society, and we have to stand together and fight for their rights. But there is so much we can do. For example, this event in itself, gathering together for this cause means a lot to the women of Afghanistan, means a lot to all of us. Fighting for their rights, attending protests, raising awareness through social media or attending such events is very vital, and supporting charities such as Rahela Trust, which we are supporting through this event, and all the proceeds from the tickets will be going to them. So through Rahela Trust, they're supporting women's education by providing them with scholarships, as well as providing them with leadership mentoring programs. And so on that note, we'll be having a panel discussion to talk with some speakers from Afghanistan who have newly arrived, who have been here for a few years. For example, Qazi Marzia Babakar Hayal, a former judge. We have here with us Sabria Nauruzi, a former captain of the Herat's development football team. We also have Benefisha Yakubi, as well as Mr. Mehdi Salmani, who's the husband of Benefisha Yakubi, and they're both disability rights activists. And we'll be going through the event, and first of all, I would like to thank the people, Magdalena, India, for creating this event, you guys for participating, Sadaf MUA for this beautiful makeup, Morsal Boutique for this beautiful clothing, Watani Box will be serving Afghan food, so you can feel free during the break. We'll be having a break, so you can grab their food, or Kulcha Cafe for the delicious Afghan food, AMB Force for capturing this event, and the press here as well. So thank you once again for attending this event, and we'll be having a panel discussion soon. So first of all, I would like to bring onto the stage Hadisa Afzali. She's a writer and poet, and she came all the way from Manchester. And she has written us a few poems, one in Dari, which is one of the national languages of Afghanistan, and one in English.
دلم خون است بر احوال زارت میهن میهن که رفت از کف جلال و افتخارت میهن میهن کجا شد آن همه عز و وقارت میهن میهن کجا شد آن شکوه و اقتدارت میهن میهن کی کرده این چنین بی اعتبارت میهن میهن الا ای میهنم روز بهار آسیا بودی بهار و باغ و راغ و لالزار آسیا بودی شکوه و اقتدار و افتخار آسیا بودی تو روزی افتخار و اعتبار آسیا بودی چه شد آن گلشن و باغ و بهارت میهن میهن الا ای میهنم ای مادرم ای آشیان من بهار من گل من گلشن من گلستان من دل من دلربا و دلبر من دلستان من الا ای جان من جانان من دردت به جان من چه شد باغ و بهار و لالزارت میهن میهن.
Next up, we'll be having Rahela Siddiqui from Rahela Trust, who will be telling us more about how she's supporting the women of Afghanistan.
The brutal reality of Afghan women being excluded from public life continues. Women have been banned from using parks, gyms, public space, banned from most workplace, and many restrictions are imposed on their movement and freedom. This is happening in line with the de facto authorities' interpretation of Sharia law. The Sharia law that the de facto government introduced, that is not what it says in Islam. In Islam it says علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. یعنی علم برای هر انسان فرض است. اونجا هیچ چیز نگفته که it didn't say women or men. It says education is for all. According to the UN Women, many aid agencies have suspended their operation. As Ariaina said, most of the organizations, unfortunately, they suspend their activities because women were not allowed to work through NGOs, and the access to women by women is limited, and that's why they have suspended their work. So an already grave humanitarian crisis is being made worse. The most recent restriction has been on secondary education and higher education. You know that there has been many degrees that they have limited Afghan women. In January 2023, UN Deputy Secretary General, you know that she was in Afghanistan, Amina Mohammed. Their conclusion was that a grave women rights crisis and a wake-up call for the international community. From around 100 partners involved in education in Afghanistan, there has been no evaluation.
Onto the stage, I would like to invite Qazi Marzia Babakarhail, former judge, as well as she received an award yesterday as well for her work and her women's rights activism. And next we have Sabrina Nawrouzi. She's a former captain of Herat's development football team in Afghanistan. Next up we have Benafsha Yakubi as well as her husband Mehdi Salmadi. And we'll welcome them onto the stage. They're both disability rights activists. What are some of your personal experiences that motivated you to be, for example, a judge in Afghanistan, a footballer, and disability rights activists? So you can start.
First of all, hello everyone. I'm so happy that I'm here, and happy Women's Day for everyone, for a strong woman from Afghanistan. And when I was start football in Afghanistan 10 years ago, and I started from school and then go up, and also I graduated from psychology in Afghanistan, and I work in a lot of office in Afghanistan like UNICEF for children, and especially I'm a football player from Afghanistan, and I was a captain of Herat development team.
So what motivated you to become a footballer? Did you aspire? Did you look at other footballers in the country, or did you see there was a lack of athletes there?
Actually, because we are a first first girl that make a team in Afghanistan, I was so excited that I start football. That because football is need more energy, and I have a lot of energy. I start football.
That's amazing. Give her a round of applause. And to you, the same question, Qazi Marzia. John, what are some of your personal experiences that motivated you to be a judge as well as a women's rights activist?
Salam, khidmat dostan, salamuna, amnike hile. Hello everyone, happy Women's Day to all of you. I'm motivated by one of female judges in Palahumri because I was thinking to be a judge, you have more power. So that's the reality. I wanted to be a judge, and why I want to become an activist, working as a female judge at the family court, the lack of injustice, the lack of justice, and the lack of production for women in Afghanistan. That was the main point. I became an activist. I was no idea about activism. I was very naive, looking just for status to be a judge. But suddenly, justice.
That's amazing, and I also give it a round of applause. I also read many articles and interviews about yourself. We can go into them, but somewhere, for example, she faced many threats by the Taliban, and she faced 2 times, was it, assassination by the Taliban. So she has struggled many times, and look, you can see as a demonstration, Afghan women can do so much for the country.
As an Afghan woman with disability, the things that you are imposed us to be, or you think we are with non-ability, we are not like that. We are just human beings. We can do lots of things that you can do. Thank you. This was my motivation.
That was really powerful. We have another question. What struggles have you all faced living in Afghanistan?
Living in Afghanistan, for all people need to live a strong living, because when I was living in Afghanistan, The Taliban not in Afghanistan, but I had a problem for education for when I go to the football exercise. Every time the people say, why you go to football, why you go to exercise? The woman can't do football, the woman can do exercise. It's hard, it's just for men. It's not just, it's not for women. But I don't hear, I keep going because it's my dream that play for a big team like a Man City. It's my dream now. But I keep going and don't hear the all voices. But I know that now it's so hard for women because they can't study, they can't play football or any sport.
The law is very supportive for man. I'm sorry to say that. That's the reality of our law in Afghanistan. And I always stand against my colleagues. That's the reason I became evil in the office. So, but the struggle, to be honest, is a good kind of power for all of us, especially for the young generation of Afghanistan, the hope for Afghanistan. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Next, Mr. Mehdi, what's your message to the women of Afghanistan?
Keep strong.
Thank you so much. Short and sweet. We'll be having some questions from the audience before we go for a break. So if anyone has questions, please do raise your hands.
My name is Connie. I have a question. I suppose that this one will go to Judge, essentially. And is that how do you, or how can you protect and support women within the legal system when the law is so skewed against them?
Because when you're a judge, you're tied by the law. You cannot help direct someone. Because of that, I became an activist and established a women organization in Afghanistan. The law is law. The judge cannot change the law. But if you want to help someone, beside my work, and I established this organization to empower women. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, let's welcome the fashion show. Let's clap for them. So the fashion show is by Max Store London, displaying the beautiful traditional Afghan clothing.